Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Bwaaa!
Bwaaa trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. Dad drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Bwaaa, King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. I'm Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, we're all the way to Season 3, Episode 14, The Wedding of Bobby Hill.
And starting off the week, we just want to let you guys know that we're welcoming you to a week of content. We have 5 days worth of content. After today, you will have interviews on Tuesday and Thursday. Wednesday, you will have Mason's Mind Melt with Rusty. And on Friday, you have That Ain't Right. That Ain't Right Friday. So you'll have 5 full days of Bwaaa KOTH content. And don't get used to it because we're just trying this out and seeing how it goes. And we hope you enjoy at least 1 week of 5 days worth of content. Yeah, and also I want to go ahead and shout out where you can find us on social media and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have a link tree. You can find us there at linktr.ee.
We have a whole tree.
BWAAAKOTH. That's BWAAAKOTH on all social media, as well as Linktree, where you can find all of our links in one happy place. And if you are just now finding our podcast, just know there are tons of episodes that we've already covered. We have 80 plus episodes, I believe, now. Over 30,000 downloads now. So we're moving forward, and we appreciate everybody's continued support. And so let's get into it, Mike. What do we got?
So we have, like I said, Season 3, Episode 14, The Wedding of Bobby Hill. I want to start off once again by saying no bell, no yell, nothing up front. We just get our regular intro, and then we have Boomhauer bringing his stuff out to pack up into his car.
Yeah.
All 4 of the guys are out there. Boomhauer's packing up his car, getting ready to leave. Hank says, so meeting a woman on the internet. How do you like that? And Bill says, now, I'll take care of everything while you're away. I even made a tape for all your plants' favorite songs. Hank says, oh, Bill, Peggy and I were thinking Bobby could take care of Boomhauer's house while he's gone. And, of course, Bill, being a little dejected here, he's like, oh, I see. Bobby's a good kid, but have you looked at his room lately? I mean, already throwing Bobby under the bus, instead.
Yeah, already throwing him under the bus instantly.
Hank says, so what do you say? It'll be good for the boy to teach him some responsibility.
He's forcing him to have to do something he doesn't want to do.
He wants to give him some responsibility.
Sorry, guys, if you hear crackling in the background, I am opening up a non-dirt field. There's no dirt in this fruit pie, and if there is, Little Debbie, I'm going to have an issue with you.
Little Debbie?
Little Debbie.
So we hear Boomhauer then pipes up after they've had this talk about responsibility for Bobby and says, yeah, man, whatever, like a lot to do, man. Water them bonsai, feed the koi. Hank says, just think, Bill, this will free you up for new challenges. And he goes, like what? He goes, so could we have the keys?
Yeah, can we have the keys?
Bill, and then Bill just like drops them on the ground and just stares at him.
Petty, just doing petty stuff.
But then
he's upset that he doesn't get to hang out in the palatial space that is Boomhauer's home.
Number one, their keys are around his neck on a keychain, which is weird. But number two, he takes them and just drops them right in front of Hank. But then the tension is too much for him, and so he picks them up and goes, here. There you go. Then we are at the Arlen Beauty Academy, where they are giving out free haircuts / coffee.
Haircuts and coffee. You cannot beat that.
No, you really can't. And we are introduced to a new character voiced by none other than...
the incomparable Matthew McConaughey.
That's right.
Actually, Texas native.
There is no way you hear this and don't go, oh, that's Matthew McConaughey.
Has a ranch actually outside of San Angelo.
So he's in the chair, and Luanne is cutting his hair, and he says, now, I'm not really here for a free haircut. I'm here because I like to check up on what's happening, what's going on, what's now.
What's now?
I got to tell you, baby doll, you are very now. And Luanne, of course, is flattered immediately.
Immediately.
Thank you.
Immediately flattered. Why would she not be flattered? It's Brad Thibodeau.
He says,
Rad, not Brad.
You're welcome. The name is Rad Thibodeaux.
Which would be Thibodeau. His name is really Thibodeau. But, if you could put a little flourish on it to get a good reaction out of a beautiful woman, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
He hands his card to Luanne and goes, here's my card, so I'm for real. She goes, oh, Radical Concepts. That sounds exciting. He goes, well.
My name is Rad.
Only if you think fast-paced, celebrity-filled life of a concert promoter is exciting. She goes, oh, and your name is Rad. How clever. No, that's not clever, Luanne. It's not. It's
not clever at all. No.
It's like saying a fly in your Chardonnay is ironic. That is not clever.
No, it is not clever.
She's still cutting his hair, but it's closer to the end of the haircut now, and he goes, I've noticed that we've been talking a lot about Rad, not too much about Miss Sweet Luanne. She goes, oh, me too. Like she did not notice.
She didn't notice anything. All she noticed was that Rad Thibodeau has whatever aura that she is drawn to.
He says, well, tell me something. You got a lover? Lover is one of those words that always creeps me out.
But
he is one of the only guys on the planet that can say that word and me not go, yuck. You know?
It is. I mean, he could really say just about anything in that voice. He could be like, the oxen are really sweet.
You got a lover? Yeah. She goes, I don't even have a boyfriend. My last one, Buckley, blew up in a propane explosion. I don't know why you're telling people that. But
I don't know why either. Yeah.
He says, I can tell you're a very sensitive young woman. And sensitive people, they do have a hard time in our society today. I mean, I should know as a self-proclaimed genius.
You hear that, guys? Self-proclaimed genius, which probably means that he's an idiot.
As a self-proclaimed genius myself, Rad Thibodeaux am often misunderstood. She goes, self-proclaimed genius? Like, she just hears the word genius. And she thinks he's a genius.
But that's the thing, self-proclaimed, self-propelled genius.
Yeah. And then he says yes to the self-proclaimed genius. She goes, oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, she doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about.
He's so put upon.
She's so not a self-proclaimed genius that she doesn't even know what he's talking about.
So she finishes up the haircut. She spins him around, shows him the mirror, and she goes, oh, what do you think? He goes, damn, that's a fine job, baby. That's such a fine job. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you out. See, you don't know it yet, but you're going to say yes. And she goes, he's right.
He's right. Yeah.
Oh, Luanne, you're an idiot.
We love you, though. We love Luanne.
Yeah,
she is a mechanical
I do
wizard.
love Luanne, but she is an idiot. I mean,
she is
good luck convincing me otherwise. We're now at Boomhauer's front door with Bobby and Hank, and they are getting ready to hand the keys off to Bobby so that he can watch this house. Hank says, I'm trusting you with Boomhauer's keys, Bobby. Now, remember, it doesn't just unlock the front door. It unlocks a new phase in your life as a responsible adult. Bobby says, why is Mr. Dotree looking at us like that? He says, he's proud of you too, Bobby. Bill's just standing across the street staring at him. Like creepy-ass staring.
Like a clown with a balloon just like in an alley just staring
really
at you.
Good,
yeah, he's just like a whatever happened to that phenomenon? Did you remember that?
Yeah, it just
when
went
there was
away.
like weird like clown incidents with people walking. I don't know.
I think once they started arresting the clowns, it kind of went away.
Yeah, where people started getting beat up for wearing clown suits.
You know, while we're on this, Matthew McConaughey did a podcast called Hank the Cowdog. He was actually Hank the Cowdog in it.
He did the voice of Hank the Cowdog.
Sponsored by HEB, and I mean, it was a big production.
I've never. And the Hank the Cowdog was one of my favorite like book series as a child. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's good for kids, and plus, I mean, if you liked it when you were a kid, I think you'd enjoy it. There's your tag, Mr. McConaughey. Now send me my $5. So we are now inside Boomhauer's house, and the one thing I want. We've seen inside Boomhauer's house before.
Yeah, definitely seen
with
inside his
the lady
house.
posters and all that stuff. He's got a lava lamp in there, but the thing I most noticed about the lava lamp is it's on.
But
Now,
not only is it on, you got to think we're in the late '90s.
It's exactly what I was going to say.
So it's old.
Yeah.
So it's an older.
That's what I was going to say. So it's probably got an incandescent bulb underneath it, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, those suckers heat up.
Really heavy.
Yeah, most, if not all, of the lava lamps were made out of metal at the time. So that sucker's probably sitting there getting super
Boiling
hot, right?
Yeah.
And you're just going to leave it in your house? That's just nuts. I mean, I turn off the dryer when I leave the house. So we're inside, and they are kind of looking around in there. Bobby is feeding the koi and watering the bonsai trees. The phone rings, and the answering machine picks up and you go, "Yo, man, dango, leave a message, man. I'm busy right now. Just leave a number today to know dango solicited," nothing like that. We find out that it's Dale on the phone calling Boomhauer. Boomhauer, pick up. Boomhauer, pick up. Pick up, Boomhauer. Oh, right, you're away. And that's it. That's the entire
that's
joke.
the end of it, yeah.
I just found it very
Weird,
funny that's the entire joke. We're now in the Hills' backyard with Bobby and Luanne. They are tanning. They are laying out in the sun, even though Bobby has sunglasses, but he still has his T-shirt and shorts on.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he does have his fancy-ass drink with an umbrella in it. Thibodeaux. He drives by, rolls the window down, honks the horn, and goes, "Hey, good looking." Of course, Bobby is the first one that pipes up and goes, "Hey,
hey." Yeah, instantly. Hey, good looking.
Well, number one, he's never met this guy, right?
Yeah, he thinks it's him.
He's never met him. And yet the guy's just gonna roll up and say, "Hey, good looking," to the boy sitting in the sun in the middle of his backyard. All right, it's probably not the guy you want to say hey to. So Luanne says, "Bobby, this is my new friend Rad." And Bobby says, "Oh, that's what his license plate says." And then we see his license plate and it says "So Rad."
So rad.
Now, I want you to understand that I did do a little bit of a breakdown here on the license plate "So Rad."
Yeah, let's do it.
This is the right one, right? I'm showing you a picture of the "So Rad."
I see the So Rad
It
license
is
plate.
currently available.
It is currently available
in
for
the
usage
state of
in the state of Texas to register your car as So
That's
Rad.
right.
If you do that, we will send you a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to. It has to be. I have to see the car and this. It has to be official. It can't just be you said you did it and printed it off on a piece of paper.
It's $99 a year to own this license plate, so it's not a real intimidating.
And you know what?
amount.
You know what's even crazy about that? $99 a year for that. You know what the price of a shirt is? $99. So it's like you get a shirt for free.
You get a new shirt a year.
There you go. It's like getting a shirt for free.
Yeah, please go to King of the Hill Bwaaa linktree.xo.com and sign up for our one shirt a year program.
Yeah, the one shirt a year program.
Okay, so now that we know that So with 3 O's Rad is available here in the state of Texas as your personal license plate, we are not affiliated, by the way, with the DMV in Texas.
Completely unaffiliated with the DMV in Texas. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with somebody who can't move faster than a snail's pace to process paperwork.
So now we're all three of them are riding around in Mr. Thibodeaux's car.
Well, that's another thing too. Is Luanne here is entirely irresponsible. She puts her young nephew's life, her young cousin's life, in jeopardy by putting them both into a moving vehicle with a complete stranger
Man
at this
she's
point.
met one time.
Not only she only met him one time, they don't know this guy, how this guy drives.
It's true.
They don't know if he's on drugs. They don't know if he's an alcoholic. They don't know if he's got with the opiate epidemic. He could be a pill addict.
It was the 90s.
There's
Nobody
so
cared.
many cares. There's so many things. No, nobody did care.
So
And then the cigarettes being smoked too.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
true, too.
everybody's
That's a
got
whole different
cigarettes
thing,
everywhere.
yeah.
You know, so
So they're
The 90s.
they're riding around in his car, and he says, "Well, you see, in the industry, man is only as good as his word. So keep it. Nobody's going to know that you're a man who keeps his word. You break it. Oh God, I'm telling you, the freebies, they dry up like a puddle in the sun." I don't know what the hell he's talking about, because when I read through that, and even when I heard him say it in the episode twice today, I was like, I don't know what freebies you're talking about.
yeah, I don't
Is that something that maybe got cut out? That we
when
don't
he's
know
saying,
about?
when he says freebies or whatever.
Yeah.
No, he's just saying that with him being a road manager like he is, or whatever it is that he does, a concert promoter, he gets a lot of freebies from that, like free merch from the artists and stuff.
Okay.
That's what I imagine
All
he
right.
was talking
Maybe
about.
that is what it is, but I could not tie it back.
He probably
to
gets
anything.
like free dinners and stuff like that. He probably gets free. He's probably just alluding to the fact that he gets a bunch of free shit because of who he is.
Maybe.
Which if you, and that's the thing that's crazy, is the more influence you have, the more free shit you get.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. I want to back up just a little bit, by the way, because he does say that you are a man who keeps his word, with those big ass pregnant pauses there in the middle, and that is just so Matthew McConaughey whenever he talks that way.
Yeah, I like it. That slow Southern pause.
Bobby's just like, whoa. Then he pauses for a second and he goes,
whoa.
Rad, what do you mean by the industry? He says, the entertainment industry. And then Bobby's like, whoa. I mean, Bobby thinks he's really made it here. He's really impressed with this guy.
Bobby's super
And this guy's
impressed.
just telling him stuff. He doesn't know.
And and he might be something great, but just because you say you're a concert promoter does not mean anything at all to me, because I've had experiences in life. There was a local guy that used to do punk shows.
Promoters around here.
Well, there's one specifically that used to do punk shows or whatever, and
Show me on the punk show where he touched you.
He ended up like being
He was a toucher.
It was.
He was a toucher, a
it was,
feeler.
It was bad.
A bad guy.
And I don't know how he
Yeah.
didn't end up in jail for anything,
Yeah.
and not on a list anywhere. But somehow he's avoided lists.
He's on my no-fly list.
But he is. He actually, one of the venues in town like didn't know his history, and they started canceling all his shows after they found out his history a little bit. But yeah,
I heard a lot of that from a lot of people who attended shows there after he was kicked out.
Yeah.
So they do see a little band
A little
playing.
chisme for everybody. Yeah.
They see a band playing in front of the drugstore, and Bobby is just digging this music.
He's loving it.
It's a
Yeah,
little
he's vibing out.
3-piece. It's a little 3-piece, so there's nobody singing. It's just music. But he is just he's dancing
into it,
and
yeah.
he's shaking his ass. And
He doesn't care. He's expressing himself as Bobby Hill would, the essence of Hill.
so what these guys are doing is called busking. You've heard the term
Busking.
busking before, right?
I actually have, and I'd never heard the term busker or what a busker was until there's like this guy that's like went viral recently doing busking.
Yeah.
And he does busking videos where he's it's booms and he does everything himself with the harmonic and everything like
Sure.
that. And he's actually got tons of success virally doing that.
Generally,
And he does it for a living.
It's either like a guy with a guitar, or here for a while we had a guy on the side of the road that would juggle out by the mall.
Well, we have a guy that stands in. He used to stand over I-35 when they had the walking bridge, but he stands in.
With the blessing sticks.
Yeah. He stands in Belmead now on the Loop 340 bridge.
I've seen him a lot, and
He's like an icon in Waco.
I want to say that one of our podcasters here has interviewed him before.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but there's definitely an interview from somebody. I remember it because.
So, busking.
Busking.
If you're not familiar with it, it's the activity of playing music in the street or another public place for voluntary donations. So a lot of the times what you'll see as far as buskers go is like a guy with or a person with an acoustic guitar, and they leave the case open, and then people will throw dollars and change into it or whatever.
Yeah, just showcasing their talent.
And so I wanted to double check with this being set in Texas, and I'm assuming somewhere around Dallas or Austin. It says I wanted to check on the legality of busking, because I know at one time I believe it was illegal. Says street performing is legal in Austin and does not require a permit unless you're performing in the city's park system. Please obey the following city code requirements and best practices during street performances. Acoustic performances only with sound at 85 decibels or under. No amplification allowed. So as long as you don't get an amp out there, then I guess you're okay to busk and ask for buck. Which I guess is good.
You could.
It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. Okay, so that's all you ever wanted to know about busking. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later. All right, so Bobby just loves it, shakes his ass at it. Now we are back in the Hill living room. We've got Bobby, Rad, and Luanne on the couch, and then Hank comes in, and Bobby says, Dad, I would like you to meet a new friend of mine in Luanne's. And, of course, Mr. Thibodeau gets up and says, hey there, partner, named Rad Thibodeau. Pleased to meet you. I mean, there's a long-ass you.
Yeah,
involved.
he's
he goes,
eccentric with it, yeah.
He goes, here you go, businessman to businessman. Hands him one of his cards, and Hank says, Isn't that pronounced
Thibodeau?
Thibodeau? Well, sometimes by mistake, but no damage done.
That would kill me, that line. Sometimes by mistake.
But no damage done. Now, Luanne has told me about you, so I know you're going to love these free CDs. And hands him a stack of stupid CDs. Hank goes, AOL, which was extremely funny to me.
Artie gave me a little fun fact about AOL. I just want to drop real fast.
Go for it.
So AOL was the first major online service provider. 1983 was when they were founded. What they used to do was they gave out free CDs to give you access to their operating system for their internet browser. It was like a all-encompass tool to browse and email and everything for those that are young.
Well, that's how you used to use chat. You'd use the AOL Instant Messenger.
It was an atmosphere.
It was news, games, everything.
Yeah, everything you could think of. And the other fun fact is that the "You've Got Mail" voice was voiced by a guy named Elwood Edwards.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh, that's
Thank you
it.
again, Artie, for that.
I thought we were going to find out who Elwood Edwards was.
No, I don't know who he is, and I didn't look it up. There's just the information that we got from Arthur.
I used to work with a guy at a local college here that he would save all of those CDs. And I guess it's unfair because I worked in the programming department, right? And so there were a lot of those CDs laying around. It wasn't just AOL stuff.
Tons, yeah.
But he had a ton of those AOL ones. And what
Earthlink,
he did,
they had a ton of Earthlink CDs.
But what he did is he would have he had this huge mobile that he had made out of it that he hung in the middle of his office. It was like this giant thing that would catch the light all the time and stuff. It was crazy. But yeah, you would get those suckers in the mail. You would get them when you bought like a magazine or something. It'd be attached to that, and those, how those magazines used to come in bags every once in a while when they included stuff. Oh, the stuff was everywhere.
Yeah, it was. It was I imagine AOL per tonnage.
Well, they're still around.
Pollution. Well, per tonnage for pollution, I'm sure there was.
You couldn't do that stuff today. No, there's no way.
Do they still provide internet service though?
I don't know. I know there's still a thing because there's people out there that still have their email address.
Well, I know their email still works. I know the AOL, like all the email and all that, but do they still offer
I don't know.
internet at all? From what I understand is and I hate to say this, but there are still some places in the United States that use dial-up internet.
Oh, sure there are. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of places on the planet.
Well, it's actually, according to here, it was actually bought in 2015 by Verizon.
Right.
And then it was bought again by a company called Apollo in 2021.
Well, it used to be owned by Time Warner. And then it was owned by a lot of people.
They do, according to this, they do still have customers for dial-up internet in the United States. But they primarily operate as a digital media company since 2009.
AOL offers a number of subscriptions from computer optimization and security to tech support. So they've become a software company is all they've become.
Probably. Well, I mean, I imagine with all the developers and stuff they had working on the actual AOL, they probably could do whatever they want. They probably have so many in-house people they could do different things.
So he's just handed him this stack of stupid free CDs, and he goes, and guess what? You sign up right now, I get 10 free hours. All you got to do is tell them that So Rad at AOL.com sent you.
Yeah, that's so rad.
And it's that little laugh at the end that gets me, though.
Like he knows, like he just jacket, like he just gave him trash.
Yeah, he just gave him garbage. Now we're back in the Hills kitchen. Hank and Peggy. This is the weird time I was talking about where we see Hank and Peggy both cooking. We hardly ever see this unless Hank is maybe outside grilling while she's cooking the rest of it or something like that.
Yeah.
Bobby comes in and he's got his what I can only describe as a members-only jacket. You know what I'm talking about when I say members-only jacket?
I know what you're talking about,
Okay.
yeah. It was a very, very specific jacket, mostly teenagers in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Had
My
little
dad
weird
was,
collars and shit on them.
like the late 70s, early 80s. My dad had more than one.
You put
Matter of
on
fact, he had
your
a couple of them.
you put on your Lacoste alligator shirt, and
Yeah,
then
he didn't wear Lacoste. My
and then
dad
you
wore
put on
like
your
Hanes.
members only.
My dad wore like
jacket.
solid colored Hanes shirts most of his life.
So Bobby comes in and he's
With a
wearing
pocket.
this. Yes.
All his shirts have to have a
Well,
pocket.
I will tell you this:
They have to have the front pocket.
I am on that train with him as far as
Yeah.
pockets go. I
Is
used
that
to
is
not
it,
be, but I
okay?
am.
Let me ask you that, Mike. As
Yeah.
you get older, do you understand? Like, is
Yep.
it like something that clicks about the utility of a pocket? Because I wear shirts. Okay, you got stuff in there.
That's it, man.
So I wear shirts with pockets on the front, but I never use the front pocket.
I always use the front pocket for business cards, and I like to have a pen.
My dad's the same way.
Yeah.
He has in his front pocket he carries
Uzi.
My dad he carries
No, I said Uzi.
Uzi carries an Uzi. I thought he said who's he
Little baby Uzi.
but he carries a notepad, like a little notepad.
yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you have a phone. And
Well-
he's like, well, it's just it's tangible.
Yeah.
It comes from a generation of
It's in case he goes
tangibility.
mute.
Yeah. Well,
Also.
not only in case he goes mute, in case he forgets how to talk while he's in the drive-through line
Sure,
at McDonald's.
sure.
Yeah.
He just has to draw out a French fry.
Draw it out, yeah. Large. Large.
It's a shame you can't spell. All right, so we're in the Hill
It's
kitchen,
funny you say that
and
because he's really, really good at crossword puzzles.
Is he really?
But every now and again he'll have to say, "How do I spell
Oh,
this?"
yeah.
And then he'll spell it out to you, and I'm like, "Well, you know how to spell it.
Yeah.
Then why'd you ask
Yeah.
if you knew how to spell?
He
Well, I
just
just wanted to make
questioned-
sure
he
I was
just
right." He
questioned
said,
himself, yeah.
"The older I get, the more I'm not sure what the word is." I was like, "I just want to make sure it's right."
I agree with him on that one too.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm only
so
32, and I forget I forgot words all the time.
we're in the kitchen,
Yeah,
and Hank
in
and
the
Peggy
kitchen.
are in there cooking. Bobby comes in his members only jacket, and he goes, "Hey, Mom, Dad, got it going on?
Why are your sleeves like that?
Got
Yeah.
it going on?
Got it
What is
going on.
It's such a stupid thing to say."
It doesn't make sense.
Hank says, "I got what? Doing what?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't even understand what this dumb kid's saying." Peggy says, "Bobby, what have you done to your sleeves?" He says, "Well, this is how Rad sleeves himself. It's industry." Hank says, "I don't much care for that Rad fella." And Bobby says, "Rad Tibideox is a self-proclaimed genius." And that's it.
That's it.
There's nothing else.
Nothing else.
All right. We are now at the Hotel Arlen, and this is a good chance for me to say, go to Twitter right now and look up the account at Hotel Arlen. Befriend it, follow it, and leave a post. This is going to be our new hangout. We're going to hang out at the Hotel Arlen. So we see Luanne and Rad walking into the Hotel Arlen lobby. Luanne looks around like it's just all made out of gold. Just it's the fanciest place she's ever been.
Yeah.
Then we see a sign over on the little buffet thing that says, "For the pleasure of our guests." And they saunter right up to it. And old Rad, he's getting himself something to eat.
Yeah.
He says, "I'm going to make you a sandwich, sweet Luanne. What kind do you want?" She says, "I don't know." He goes, whoa, what's wrong, baby doll?" Because she gets a little upset about it, right?
Whoa. What's wrong? Yeah,
What's
I like
wrong,
that.
baby
Slow
doll?
down, baby doll.
She says, "Nothing. Oh, well, it's just I didn't ever get to go anywhere this fancy with Buckley. Well, except his funeral reception," which is
Goddamn,
wonderful.
yeah.
He goes, "Oh, there, sweetness. It's different now. Rad's here, baby. Rad's here. Say my name." She says, "Rad." And then he kisses her. And then in the background, you see this guy walk by, and Rad looks up and goes, "AJ, got it going on?" That's it.
That's it.
I don't.
Got it going on.
I feel so bad for Luanne. She takes people at face value every single time.
Every time. Her
Every
naivete definitely bites her in the ass a lot.
She is
But that's
so
what makes her
sweet
so
because of
sweet.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what makes her so likable,
Yeah.
I think, in the midst of her ditziness is she's just, I don't know, she's just great.
And now I guess we're in the park because there is a fountain, and Bobby is kind of balancing around on the edge of the fountain, walking around it. In the background, we see a big statue that says, in memory of Arlen's dead from all wars, which I thought was really odd way to say that.
Okay.
In memory of Arlen's dead from all wars. You don't hardly ever see like an all-in-one statue.
No, you don't.
You know?
Not an all wars
But anyway,
statue.
doesn't matter.
That's pretty cool. No.
So he's balancing on
That's
the
a
fountain.
good observation.
He's balancing on the fountain, and he kind of falls off. And
I missed
Luanne,
that. Yeah, that's a really good observation.
they're over there kissing, and Luanne looks up and goes, "Careful, Bobby, you could have wet Rad." What an odd way to put it. You could have wet Rad.
Could have wet Rad.
And Bobby says, "Oh, Rad's cool with that, aren't you, Rad?" And he's over there kissing Luanne again. He goes, Rad, I was speaking to you. He goes, Bobby, listen, I know you want my attention, and that's nothing I can't handle, but at the moment I am busy with the lady. He goes, Bobby says, you can see Luanne anytime, but I have school and stuff to do. I have to take care of Boomhauer's house while he's away. Whoops. Rad hears that.
Yeah, what?
He goes, how long is he away for? Yeah. And then the next thing we see, we're at Boomhauer's, and Rad is hosting a party now at Boomhauer's house.
Okay.
There's all these people walking in. Girl in booty shorts comes in first, and he goes, pleased to see you. Music, y'all. Free food. So he's giving away food at Boomhauer's house.
Food,
he's giving away his liquor.
Alcohol.
He's letting people come in and do whatever.
Just in general, just
Luanne,
bad hosts,
yeah,
bad
Luanne
guests.
has this girl's jacket, and she goes, I'll go put this on the bed. And he goes, whoa, you better not do that. Jeremy's in there, and he is busy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like,
okay, creep.
How old is this guy that you're like, okay, so if this guy's in his 30s, what 30-year-olds are having house parties where they're like fucking in a back room? This is like stuff that happens in college or high school.
Well, you're also eating off the buffet at a hotel. You know, I mean, it's I'm just saying, you know,
well,
go buy a burger.
I just don't see the guy being
good
that old. Like, well,
he's
I mean,
not,
I really hope he's in his 20s doing this, because if the man is in his mid 30s, as he appears to be a character that's a little bit older, as Matthew McConaughey once was quoted as saying, "I stay the same age, and they or I get older, but they stay the same age." Which is, again, might have been one of the creepiest lines out of an 80s movie. At the time, though, it
wasn't
was
80s.
That's an 80s movie.
No,
90s?
No, that's at least 90s. Yeah, at least.
I thought it was late 80s. No, okay, you're right.
You're thinking Slacker. Slacker was the first one, and then
Slacker. Yeah. Slacker was good. Yeah, Slacker was really good. That was like a movie about nothing for
sure.
sure.
Slacker was Linklater's first movie.
Yeah,
and he literally filmed it in downtown Austin in like 2 shots. Like he just did continuous shots.
Yeah. That's a really that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good cult classic.
But he goes, Jeremy's in there. He is busy, if you know what I mean. And he goes, in the meantime, you know, I'm feeling kind of thirsty, and my beverage is on the south end of the levee. You know where Boomhauer keeps his special stash? She goes, I'll get his number from Bobby, and we can call and ask him. He goes, listen to you. She goes, hey, does Boomhauer know you're having this party? He goes, does he need to? She says, yes. He goes, why? She goes, this isn't fair. I'm not a self-proclaimed genius, so I don't always have a good answer as you do. Wait. I know why. Because you should tell people if you're going to throw a party in their house without asking them. And the Rad I fell in love with, she's already in love with him. The Rad I fell in love with ought to know that. So come on, make everyone leave. He goes, whoa, now, Luanne. You don't want to make me and Mr. Boomhauer look like bad hosts, do you? She goes, that's it, Rad. I am not your girlfriend anymore. And the way that he responds to this.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I never
proclaimed you to be my girlfriend, baby doll.
Baby doll. Yeah.
Baby doll.
And then he gives kind of a little laugh, which is just nuts. She storms out. We're back with, now we see Hank being brought into the picture because Luanne is marching Uncle Hank up there to find out what's going on. All right, so she is bringing Hank back into the picture here because she's going to get this taken care of because she doesn't want a party happening. She doesn't want Rad throwing it, and she doesn't want Boomhauer's house torn up.
Absolutely.
And so they come storming in, and here comes Rad. Welcome, buddy. Enjoy the music and the free food. Hank says, I will not. You get out of here. You too, and you too. This is a smoke-free house. And he just starts like chunking people out, right?
Yeah, just throwing them out.
Well, I mean, he turns the music off, and he's just like, get the hell out of here, everybody.
Yeah.
And then Hank sees Bobby in the hot tub. And he goes up to Bobby, who is sitting right in the middle of the hot tub, entertaining two young ladies on either side.
Yep, he's
bunch
done
of
for
beer
her.
cans all around him, right? This kid is 12 years old. Hank says, well, you hear Bobby first, and he goes, only thing hotter than this tub is you two ladies. And then here comes his dad.
Wow.
He goes, uh-oh. And then Hank just rips him right out of the hot tub and starts dragging him across the thing. He says, Dad, I'm into my underpants. Yeah, that was your decision. You got to live with that.
Yeah, you got to live with that one.
Now, there is one thing that happens in the background as this goes on. There is somebody back there snorting coke off of the counter.
Oh, there is?
There is.
Oh,
It
wow.
happens very quickly, but somebody back there is snorting some coke.
Well, there you go. You heard it here.
And as we ponder the bad influences that drugs can be, let's take a quick commercial break. All right, and we are back. So we have now drug Bobby out of the hot tub. Hank is very
in
upset
his
with
tidy
him.
whities.
Yep. We're now back at the at Boomhauer's. Assuming it's the next day because this is Bobby, Hank, and Peggy. They're all in there, like just seeing what the place looks like, what they need to do to clean it up, and all this stuff. Bobby, of course, finds the bra on the floor and holds it up.
Yeah, he holds the bra up.
His mother takes that right out of his hand. Hank says, look at this place. Peggy says, 12 years old and drinking a beer. And Bobby says, I didn't even like it.
And then Hank said, yeah, are you trying to piss
now
me
you're
off?
just trying to make me mad. Yeah. Peggy says, your father and I are replacing you as Boomhauer's sitter, and we'll be keeping that $1 a day for ourselves. $1 a day.
$1 a day.
And then Hank says the really bad stuff. He goes, that's right, and I'm taking away your suitcase of props. Bobby at first is like, fine, I can do my comedy without props.
And then he realizes
and then he
that
tries
he's a
to.
one-trick pony.
He's like, so you ever notice how
I need my prop.
you can't take away my props? Yeah, so now we are we're back over at the Hill House, and we're in Luanne's room. She is just sobbing and throwing away the pictures of Rad and all the AOL CDs he gave her and the roses I'm sure he stole from somewhere.
I don't know. I can't believe that he gave her, like, I'm sorry, guys, but it's not a flex or anything like that to give a woman free things.
No.
That's like going to a convention and grabbing all the free pamphlets and then taking it home and saying, here you go, honey, I brought you back some stuff from the convention.
Give her some sunglasses that say AOL on the side of them.
Actually, I would probably wear those.
You would keep those.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
So Bobby comes into Luanne's room, and she's throwing all this stuff away, and she goes, because of you, I'm propless. Hey, you can't throw those out. This CD is all I've got left of Rad. And he's like going through this garbage pail here trying to get his stuff back. Luanne says, he didn't give it to you, Bobby. He gave it to me. You were never even part of his inner circle. You were just a hanger-on. He goes, take that back. She goes, just like AJ. And boy, did she mean that bad.
Yeah, take that back.
So the next thing we see is Bobby going up to Dale's house. Boy, if it's come down to Bobby needing help from Dale, there's some real problems.
Real problems.
He rings the doorbell at Dale's.
Smoking a cigarette, too, yeah.
Of course.
He answers.
Dale comes and goes, state your purpose. Says, Mr. Cribble, I'm having a problem with Luanne. Do you know anything about getting even with people who have done something bad to you?
And he looks around and he yells, no,
Nothing
Bobby,
nothing at all. And then he just puts him in with his head.
House.
Yeah, he's like, come on.
Come this way.
We're back in Luanne's room, and Bobby is now replacing the label from her hairspray, the economical hairspray, as it says on the thing, with the Ultra Blast Super Loud air horn. And who knew that those labels were so easy to take off and then glue onto another one?
Easily.
But he takes it off, and then he just kind of waits. Luanne comes by, and you hear, and then her, Yeah. And then the thing about it, to me, is that it happens twice, because she then does it again.
Yeah.
And goes, oh, Bobby. Like, then she's
Then
pissed
she's
off.
pissed off. Yeah, it had to be the second time. Yeah,
the first time she had no idea what happened to her.
Second time, oh, it was Bobby.
Next, we see Luanne, because now the War of the Roses has begun, right, between Bobby and Luanne. They're each trying to one-up each other and try to screw each other over. Luanne is out front. She is digging in the front yard. She sees Peggy pass by. Peggy looks at her and is like, what the hell are you doing? She says, oh, gardening. And then we're at the dinner table later with Peggy, Bobby, Hank, and Luanne. And we're done with the meal. Bobby pulls out his fruit pie to eat it because we saw Luanne put some dirt into a fruit pie earlier as she was digging. He takes a bite, and then he just spits it out on the table, and Hank says, cut it out, Bobby. No one's laughing. And he goes, I didn't do it. He goes, Bobby, we just saw you spit dirt all over. He goes, why would I put dirt in my own fruit pie? My own fruit pie. He's outraged.
I mean, come on. It's his favorite thing.
Yes.
And you just filled his favorite dessert with friggin' dirt.
Hank says,
it's rough stuff. Hey, fair game at that point. Anything can happen.
Hank says, why you do a lot of things is a mystery to me. I want to know how she got that package reclosed. That package was really well done.
Hair straightener.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I'm just guessing.
All right.
I've seen.
That makes total sense because you can melt the plastic back together. Wow. Good job, Rusty. Yeah, that's very nice. Now we see Bobby. This is kind of a montage thing. We see Bobby go into Luanne's closet, and he gets out a pair of her jeans, and he's got some scissors in his hand. Then we see him later sitting on the couch waiting for Luanne to leave. Luanne comes out and starts walking out. See you later, Aunt Peggy. And then you see her go out, and as you see her go out, the ass is cut out of her jeans on both sides.
Yeah.
You just hear people kind of laugh a little bit outside. And she comes back in and goes, if I find out this was you and not a laundry accident, I'm going to be really mad.
I'm going to be really mad, yeah.
You ever have one of those laundry accidents where your ass falls out of your jeans?
No, never had that.
Yeah, in perfect circles.
I lost weight one time and my ass was falling out of my jeans. But other than that, no, I've never experienced my ass falling out of jeans.
So we're now back at Boomhauer's, and there's still some picking up being done, some cleaning up. Peggy's taking out the trash. Hank is making the bed for some reason.
Well, he had to go in there and clean the cum stain off the mattress. He had to. I mean, I imagine there's probably plenty of those in there. Being Boomhauer,
he's doing like
Cometown, Alaska, right there.
He's doing like
Boomhauer's
military
bed.
corners on this bed. I mean, he's
and he's not even. He never even went to the military.
He goes.
It wouldn't take him on account of his narrow urethra. Right?
That's right.
Is that why he didn't? I'm pretty sure that's the lore behind why he didn't have military service.
I don't remember if it was that or his flat feet.
Flat feet.
So Peggy both. Peggy is taking out the trash. Hank's making the bed. Hank is in the bedroom and he sees this VHS video camera over in the corner. Yeah. And the thing I don't understand about it is he sits down and he's like fascinated by the fact that he's on the TV, but this video camera was already going because he didn't turn it on. So
he never turned it on.
It's already doing stuff.
Yeah, it's already. Well, what it might be is just the feed.
Yeah,
it's
true.
You got to hit record on the VCR. It might just be the feed.
He goes,
which is even crazier because if this is in Boomhauer's room and he's not recording it, he has a weird fetish with being able to see everything while he's doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe
he goes, well, Peg, how do you like that? Peggy, come here. She comes in. She sees the camera. They both sit on the bed. She goes, oh, my, well, that's me. He goes, a camera in the bedroom. This is kind of fun. This is Hank Hill with the news. And she goes, Hank, you're terrible. Never once does the idea come into either one of their heads that this could be used for filming people having sex.
and that's what it's used for.
But never once with either one of these folks.
No, never. But contextually, knowing what Boomhauer is as a womanizer, there's only one. I mean, they're not filming like the next, like at home Steven Spielberg produced movie or nothing. It's definitely more along the lines of Ron Jeremy activity.
So the next thing we see is Bobby sleeping. He rolls over in his sleep, and the pillow sticks to his face.
Oh yeah, all the feathers. And
he freaks out, and he gets up, and the next thing we see is Hank picking feathers off of Bobby's face. And he goes, you're getting to be a handful, Bobby, and nobody likes a handful.
Yeah. Nobody likes a handful.
Then we see, this is still part of the same montage. Now the really bad one happens. Bobby crawls out from under Luanne's bed after she leaves her room. He finds her birth control pills and replaces them with sweet tarts.
And not only does he do this, he's an artisan. He is a craft maker. If you need a pill pressed to look, you need a piece of candy to be filed down with a nail file and teeth.
Oh, he's a talented kid.
He's got you.
Yeah, he filed them all down, put them back in there.
And I love this next whole back half of the show because it's literally just it reminds me of when I was a kid. I had a childhood friend, and him and his sister, he had a sister who was 6 years older than him, and he was the maniacal little brother kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what this feels like, is a back and forth between, all the back and forth they've had so far up until this point. It feels like they were tit for tat all the way until the tit for tat got too extreme, until it was starting to affect.
That's right.
And then the parents get involved kind of thing. Because the pinnacle of my friend's deal was he had got a ton of Tic Tacs, carefully ripped the carpet up in his sister's room by her door, put it back down, re-glued the carpet, pushed the carpet back down. So now the carpet had thumbtacks
thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks.
You said Tic Tacs. I was like, what the hell are the Tic Tacs doing
I meant thumbtacks. I meant thumbtacks, not Tic Tacs.
I was waiting for the end of this. I was like, what do Tic Tacs do when you put them under carpet?
He'd put thumbtacks all underneath the carpet, put the carpet back down, and glued the carpet down. So you can't just go, because they're thinking, she gets the thumbtack and steps on it. She's thinking she could go down and pick it up.
No, she
couldn't find
spikes.
the thumbtacks.
Yeah.
So it was just like spike strip in front of her door.
Wow, that's rough.
To be fair, though, it was in retaliation for being wrapped up in a sleeping bag in a Texas summer and being put in a closet and being put in a toy box in a closet. So that was that's how he retaliated. But I
can't say I blame him.
Yeah,
but so, Luanne does find them. She realizes they're sweet tarts, and so the next thing we see is we're back at Boomhauer's house, and Hank and Peggy are. This is really out of character for them. They are in the hot tub, pouring Alamo beer into champagne flutes.
Yeah, they're definitely living a little lavish.
If you go on IMDb, this is the first picture you always see for King of the Hill. It's the one of Hank sitting in the damn hot tub.
Yeah.
And for a very long time, I thought he was holding a corn dog.
No, he's
holding a champagne flute. Yeah, I swear to God, I thought it was a corn dog.
I would have not been
surprised.
Yes,
corn dog would make total sense to me.
A lot of sense.
Corn dog in a hot tub, that makes even more sense. So Peggy says, if this is wrong, I don't want to be right. And then Dale comes by, and you just hear his voice saying, "Couldn't help hearing the bubbles." And all you're seeing is him from like the knee up, but from the back. He's wearing a robe, and he goes, "Mind if I join?" And then he just drops the bathrobe. Now we see Dale's glorious ass in a thong, and Hank is just like, "Oh dear Lord, get the hell out of here, Dale!"
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
So. Next, we've got Bobby sitting outside on the back porch on the outside eating what do you call it? The picnic table.
Oh yeah, picnic table.
Yeah, he's sitting at the picnic table, and Luanne comes out and goes, "Oh no!" He goes, "Is there anything matter, Luanne?" And he knows, It's just weird to see him outside eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
She goes, "My birth control pills have stopped working." She goes, "I should have known when they started tasting sweet." He goes, "Like candy?" She goes, "This isn't funny, Bobby." He goes, "Oh, I disagree." She says, "You don't understand. Every woman has to take birth control pill every day, or else they get pregnant. Pregnant, by the way." Bobby says, "Just take 2 now." He goes, "Hurry. That would destroy my..." And she goes, "That would destroy my insides. That's how it works." He goes, "Take them." Yeah. So my question in this was this the first Plan B mention on TV? Because Bobby just wants her to just jack up her birth control.
You don't think Seinfeld ever hit that?
I don't know.
I think that would be I think that Seinfeld would have hit something like that. Oh yeah. Speaking of Seinfeld,
He's just like, take them.
Speaking of Seinfeld, and
Yeah.
we're doing all this AI stuff that we talk about. I got to touch on this.
The
so
AI
on Twitch.
Seinfeld
So
sitcom.
what happened was on Twitch, these guys worked on this for 4 years. They worked on a way to generate a sitcom using AI.
Yeah.
So 4 years of their efforts, they launched on Twitch as a 24/7 streaming show about nothing, and it's called Watch Nothing or something. Watch Nothing Now or something. I can't remember the exact Twitch name, but they got a ban. Okay, so they were recently banned from Twitch because the AI generator during the stand-up part, because you know how Seinfeld had the stand-up part, the show also has that. His name is Al. The guy's name is Al, and they have the and they have the music too. They have it all.
Sure.
It's pretty funny. Well, the AI generator had generated a stand-up bit that was pretty much really like shitting on conservative comedians, but it was a transphobic thing. He goes, I told a transphobic joke and nobody laughed. It was the AI got banned for making transphobic comments.
Wow.
Like AI got banned. They banned an artificial intelligent, like a machine, like it's a machine. Essentially, it's all working on its own with no interaction from a human being. They hit start and left it, and that's what it created.
That's insanity.
Yeah, it really is. But it wasn't.
weird
It
world.
wasn't a. It wasn't a outright attack. It was a juxtaposition kind of thing, like tongue in cheek,
Right, sure.
making fun
Yeah.
of conservative
Yeah.
comedians.
Yeah.
But it was still. I thought it was crazy that that whole thing exists. And they made a ton of money already on it. Yeah, they got like 10,000, 15,000 concurrent viewers.
Wow. So we've got now Bobby understands that there's a problem.
Yep, big problem.
Luanne has got him convinced that ladies have to take their pills every day or they get pregnant.
Which is funny because he thought that he would get at her, and then now she's getting back at him.
She has the ultimate last laugh here, if you don't count Hank and Peggy. They are still in the hot tub, and we're back there with them. And we hear the door open and close, and Hank assumes that this is Dale coming back. He goes, "There's only one way to teach Dale the meaning of no." And this is close to being very violent here because Hank, number one, can't see what he's grabbing because he doesn't have his glasses on.
Yeah,
He reaches over and grabs this statue. Like, I'm assuming he's going to hit Dale in the head with this statue because that's how you tell him no?
I wouldn't put it past needing that. You know what I mean? For him, he is he's a shit dude. He's just a.
So we see Bobby bust in now, and he goes, "Mom, Dad, I've gotten Luanne pregnant."
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So we're back at the Hank at the Hills house.
This episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird. It almost reminds me of back in the day when you would get Rugrats. I think Rugrats did this. Doug did it for sure, where it would be like season 1, episode 2A and 2B. It seems like it could have been like split in half with 15 minutes of or 10 minutes of the show being this and 10 minutes of the show being that kind of thing.
It does seem like two different episodes.
Yeah.
We're back at the Hill house, and Hank and Peggy are yelling at Luanne as she sits on the bed, and he goes, "Luanne, I thought you were smarter than this." And then he looks over at Peggy. Peggy looks at him, and he goes, "Well, I did." Like, she knows. She's like, "Really? No, come on. You didn't think she was smarter than that." Peggy says, "Can you imagine the consequences if you had taken one of those fake pills and had unprotected sex?" And then Hank's like, "Ah!"
Oh, yeah, he didn't want to hear that. He don't like that word.
Luanne says, "Only got the pill to clear up my complexion and regulate my again. Here he comes." She goes, "Bobby's the one who messed with my medicine." Peggy says, "You messed with his fruit pies. After that, he had nothing to lose."
And you know what? And that's what I said. I said, if you want to mess with the man's fruit pies, you cannot expect anything but the fire and hell that he's going to bring to you.
Sure. She says, "I'll go tell him the truth right away," owning up to what she's done. Peggy's like, wait, not so fast.
No choice.
Again, this is Peggy's idea, right?
Yeah.
So this goes into the whole Peggy is not a great person. She goes, no, not so fast. Bobby has to learn that what he did was completely unacceptable. Now, as far as he knows, you're still expecting. She goes, "You want me to lie?" Hank says, well, deceiving somebody is never good.
Never, yeah.
But in order to teach Bobby the meaning of responsibility, and Luanne just goes, I'll do it. He doesn't even let him finish. She's ready to keep up this lie. So we're back at Bobby's room. Bobby is sitting all slumped in a folding chair, like he seems like he is just out of his mind, worried about what's going on, what he's done. Hank comes in and says, hey there, sport. How's it going? He goes, not so good. He goes, pretty big screw up, huh? He goes, yeah, I feel real bad about it, Dad. Well, heck, we all make mistakes. The point is you can make up for them. He goes, really? How? By doing the right thing, of course. You're going to have to marry Luanne. He goes, but I'm only 12 years old.
Well, the whole thing about them, like, this prank is weird. Like, it's cool. It's cool to prank your kids or whatever, but pranking your kid into thinking he has to marry his cousin.
Yeah, his cousin.
Yeah, well, this is a little sus parenting, I think.
So he goes, I'm only 12 years old. He goes, well, just think, you could be married for 80 years. Like, that's a plus. Dad, you can't make me marry Luanne. He goes, yes, I can, Bobby. You're only 12 years old. Yeah. Kind of got him with his own information there. We are now, we're about to have a wedding. I mean, it's that fast.
A very odd series of events is what we're about to have, yeah. And I don't know how in the hell they get Luanne roped up into this to where she's believing it all, but they somehow got her into this because she was kind of like in on the prank, and then she's part of the prank. I don't know how this came about. But.
So there's a worried Bobby watching Hank kind of set up chairs for the wedding. He comes out and goes, please, Dad, I don't want to marry Luanne. He goes, well, it's a little late for that. You didn't take care of Boomhauers. You drank beer. You messed with Luanne's lady pills.
Yeah. I
ask you, is that responsible behavior? He says, no. He goes, well, then having to marry Luanne will be a good lesson for you. That's what marriage is for. We're in Luanne's room. Bobby comes in and says, Luanne, listen, I know we've had our differences, but I was kind of hoping we could make up and not get married. Luanne goes, this is my favorite line of this entire episode. She goes, Uncle Hank, Bobby's trying to get out of marrying me. And just from the other room, you hear Hank say, Bobby, you cut that out. You cut out trying to get out of that marriage. We're now at the Arlen Fun Center with Hank, Dale, Bill, and Bobby. This is Bobby's big bachelor party that they're having at the Arlen Fun Center.
Which is, it's just, I don't know, it's just a weird one, yeah.
Bill says, you barely touched that Sunday, Bobby. He goes, I'm not really hungry. Hank says, well, come on, what kind of bachelor party is this? Better live it up while you can before the wife is after you to watch the waistline. And everybody's just chuckle.
Yeah.
Hank says, this is the last free night of your life. Dale pops up and says, to Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Hill, may their marriage be every bit as wonderful as mine. And Bill says, and as mine was. That's not a great track record.
Not at all.
Bobby just buries his head in his hands and it's just like, oh, good God. So the next thing we see is Bobby. It brings out a lot of weird stuff with Bobby.
Super weird stuff, like uncomfortable kind of
Now he's sneaking over to Connie's, just like staring in her window, right? And, of course, Connie's there doing her homework.
Well, you got to think, like, let's think of it from his perspective. He really is believes that he has to marry his cousin, which takes away the hope of ever having to marry the woman he truly loves.
It's true. She opens the window and goes, listen, Bobby, I got to do my homework. He says, homework? You go on and do your homework. Just let me watch for a little while, which is creepy as hell. Connie shuts the thing, sits down at the computer again, starts doing her stuff. Bobby is still staring at her, and she just looks at him and goes, ooh. like, ugh. All right, we're now day of the wedding. Bobby is he's dressed in his Sunday finest, but with shorts on.
Yeah.
He's standing at the window.
It looks like he's in like a private school outfit.
Yeah,
or something
he does kind of look like a private schoolboy.
With the cardigan.
He's very dejected with his head hanging down because he doesn't think he can do anything. He thinks his life's about to be over. His mother comes up and says, "Oh, my little man, I bought this for you." And she gives him a corsage, pins it on. He goes, Mom, I don't want to do this. She goes, well, of course you don't. And then she just walks off.
Well, of course.
Of course you don't. Bye. Dale is playing the wedding march on the keyboard. And Bobby walks down the thing, and he gets to the front at the pulpit, and there's Bill dressed up as a priest who says, come, my child. And then Dale begins playing Here Comes the Bride. And then what we see is from the other side of the fence, Con is watching them over the privacy fence. And he goes, men, it's finally happening. Bobby Hillbilly is marrying Hillbilly Cousin. You owe me $5 in your face. That was fantastic. You owe me $5.
Terrible.
Yeah. Hank is starting to walk. He's walking Luanne down the aisle. They're both there, and then here goes Bill into the ceremony. He goes, Bobby, do you take Luanne to be your lawful wedded wife, to have and to hold, to love and to cherish, till death do you part? Bobby's like, Hank says, well, that sounds like a yes to me. And then Bill says, all right, Luanne, do you take Bobby to be your lawful wedded husband? I do. I now pronounce you man and wife. And then she kisses Bobby on the forehead, says, oh, Bobby. He goes, oh, no. And he is just sweating. He's just a big ball of sweat.
Heavily sweating.
He goes, I think I need to lie down. And he just sits down right there at the end of the aisle. We're later in the wedding, and I'm assuming this is the after party.
Yeah.
And we're hearing That's Amore played over the
That's Amore.
Dale is playing this on the organ while Nancy and John Redcorn dance together in front of him.
Which is really, really weird.
It's
yeah, that's
really
super
odd.
weird. That
Yeah.
part is, but he is a great player, which is, it's kind of something that we learn about Dale.
We
here,
find
is
out
good
here
at
in a
piano.
second, though, that that may not be the case.
Yeah.
So he's playing That's Amore. They're dancing. Luanne's like, oh, can I tell him now? Can I tell him how we fooled him? And Peggy says, oh, Luanne, I'm really sorry about this, honey, but I have some bad news. Hank says, it turns out Bill's actually a licensed minister. So Luanne says, you mean I'm really married to Bobby? Peggy says, legally? Yes. She goes, then I'll get a divorce. That's what I'll do. I'll say he hit me. I'll say he hit me? Oh, my God.
Immediately
She just
goes
went
there.
to that like so
She
quick.
went there so quick.
I'll say
it's
he hit me.
unbelievable. I'll say he hit me.
Peggy,
She's been rehearsing that for months.
Peggy said, I guess you could do that, but the law is you have to wait a year. That so you'll have time to patch things up.
That's crazy.
When she's upset and she runs off, and then you see Hank and Peggy both kind of cackling to themselves. We are now in Luanne's room. Bobby is in there. They're both in there together. He goes, please, Luanne, I don't think I'm ready for this yet. Luanne says, look, we're going to have to deal with this being married thing, so the sooner we make the rules, the better. I get to date as much as I want with whoever I want. You can see Connie if you want to, but just not in public. No, wait, I changed my mind. You can't see Connie ever. What are you doing, Luanne?
Well, yeah,
You're setting up some really rough rules here. They both go outside, and now I'm guessing the after party is over because now Bill is in his wife beater shirt, and Dale is just dressed like Dale, and they're both standing to be what looks like in the road, watching Hank's backyard where the two come out, and Bill says, look at the happy newlyweds. And they're both just standing there drinking and watching them. Bill says, how come they get to be married when I never do?
Yeah, he's getting jealous of a fake situation. He's so weird. This shows how weird he is, too.
Why do they get to be so happy? It's not fair. It's not. It's a fake. It's all a fake. I'm not a minister. Dale used a self-playing piano, so he can't play. He goes, it's all great. It's all a great, great big fake. It's what it is. It's a fake. And so everybody now knows that it's a big fake. Now we're back with Hank and Peggy in there inside changing clothes. They don't know that it's a fake yet. Hank says, that sure was some good parenting. She goes, I don't think the experts would disagree. They both think they did such a great job by fooling these kids into thinking they got married. What do they do?
It's just weird.
What would they do if, let's say, the kids took it seriously for 5 seconds and started having sex? Then what do you do?
I don't know. I don't know that I want to explore that.
Because you caused it.
Yeah, you caused it. It's all on you.
Anyway, both of them come busting into the room where they're into their bedroom, and Luanne says, Mr. Dotrieve said Bobby and I aren't really married. I'm still keeping those placemats he gave us. Peggy, again, being the terrible person she is, placemats, that's it? I thought he was one of your best friends.
Yes.
What a crappy thing to say. Okay, so now we are at the what I think of as the breakfast table at the Hills house, right?
The Nook, yeah, the little breakfast.
Yeah,
nook.
because it's now just Luanne and Bobby, and this is kind of the aftermath of everything that happened.
Yeah.
They're both sitting down eating the wedding cake, and Luanne says, "You want some milk with that?" He goes, "I do," and they both laugh about it. She says, "I'm glad we're not married anymore, but you know what? I could have done a whole lot worse." He says, "I'm sorry for the pranks, Luanne, and you probably shouldn't open your laundry hamper very quickly unless you like snakes." She says, "Well, thank you."
Yeah, they start telling each other, well, you should probably.
Oh,
do
you
this,
might not want to
or
ride
you
downhill on your
should
bike.
do
Something
this."
might be wrong with your brake cable. Jesus, Luanne, that's a big one. You cut his brake cable on his bike.
That's huge.
Bobby says, "Oh, don't use your mouthwash around an open flame." I mean, what the hell did you do to her mouthwash?
Yeah, I don't even know.
She goes, "I'll try not to." Oh, and you might want to stop drinking that milk. And that's it. We get to the credits. We are done.
That was a good one.
What a weird episode.
Yeah, that's weird.
After
the
the
ending
credits,
really just went like super weird.
it did. It got fast and it just was over. After the credits, we hear Bobby say, "I don't think I'm ready for this yet." And that's it.
That is it.
That is season 3, episode 14, The Wedding of Bobby Hill.
The Wedding of Bobby Hill.
So tell us where everybody can find us.
Everybody
Rusty?
can find us at BWAAAKOTH at Linktree. It is linktr.ee/BWAAAKOTH. You can also find us at BWAAAKOTH on all social media. But the Linktree is easier because it has all of our links in one convenient location.
We have our very own tree.
Yes, and that's where we're at. We're there. We're at RogueMediaNetwork.com.
Rogue Media Network.
A lot of great podcasts going on.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff.
There's actually a podcast behind us right now in the
Going on right now?
video studio being recorded.
The Public Affair.
The Public Affair, which is I like to call it the local Cheesemay podcast, which is the local. I don't want to call it gossip because it's not gossip, but
not really.
It's the local tea. If
It's
you
just
will.
fun
It's
conversations. Yeah.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Great
Andrew
show.
G, great interviewer.
Great
Good
interviewer and very dedicated to his craft.
Yep.
Does a really good job. So,
Very much so.
You'll go check out
He's
the
one
Public
of-
Affair.
He's one of maybe 3 originals that were with the network when we basically started.
Very
Yeah.
first started. Yeah, he does a really good job. And
He's gone to all 3 locations to film his show.
Oh, he's been,
So,
been everywhere. Yeah. I've only been to
Yes.
2, so let's see where this one takes us.
So the last thing I want to say is if you guys could go to Twitter and check out @Hotel Arlen, make sure you leave some sort of comment, follow it, like it. I'm going to try to make this a hangout of ours. And the only way I can do that is if you all are there as well. So go check that out if you would. And come back again next time. This is Monday. You got 4 more days this week.
4 more
full
days of content.
That's it.
Bwaaa!
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Wimatanya.
Wimatanya.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.